Alright, so the bikes are home, and like I said earlier, I don't know if you can see that right in there. I'll get a better shot of it, but there's a hole in the case. Looks like a bolt backed out of the bottom end. So stay tuned for next video. We're gonna tear this 125 down and do a complete rebuild on it with new casings. Alright, we got this thing tore down a good bit. That's a head of a bolt right there. Destroyed that case pretty good. So anyway, we're going to yank this motor out. I know I can pull that apart, but I need to see the bottom end to see what exactly is going on. I know this motor was built previously before me. Obviously somebody did not torque that down or put Loctite on it. So we're gonna build it right. I done decided I'm keeping this thing, so we're gonna build it right the first time. All right, here's Project 03 CR125. If you watched the last video, you saw that some bolts come apart in the bottom end. I was not the last guy to build it, but currently building it now. Got Wiseco hooking us up with that, so we're gonna get that done. Sorry, I'm talking weird. It's freezing cold outside. I'm gonna give this thing a really good bath, scrub this frame down the way I want it, get it really nice and clean, just so whenever I get the engine done, we can get it put back together. All right, after a nice thorough clean of the frame, I got it looking how I want to, especially in the cradle right there where the engine's gonna sit. I got the radiators really nice and clean. I didn't focus too much on the other parts just because I know I'm gonna take the bike apart piece by piece. But as of right now, that frame's looking exactly the way I want it to. There's a few little missed spots, but it's a bike that's gonna be ridden. We'll get this thing dried off and pulled back in the shop. All right, I got the clutch cover off right now, or the inner clutch cover. Everything looks good. Come on, focus. That clutch basket kind of got chewed up a little bit. But here's the issue. Bolt's backed all the way out, completely loose, and it ate into the cover. Pretty gnarly damage. I'm going to weld this up inside and outside, grind it down. A new one of these is a little over $400. That's the only thing that makes sense for something so, I'm not gonna say minor, but we'll get it. We'll get some Loctite. I'm gonna pull everything apart and do this thing the correct way. I tore a few gaskets off. You can tell somebody's been in here previously, which is what I was told by the gasket. And that's a telltale sign too. These need Loctite, blue Loctite, or you'll have a failure like this, and it'll ruin your whole day of riding. All right, so this is our dilemma. See, we got daylight behind there. I'm gonna take this Dremel with this cone tip, and I'm gonna Dremel that out good, and then we're gonna weld it. All right. We got that thing Dremeled out good enough. It's hard to get my Dremel over there in that corner right there. I might touch on it a little bit more, but that hole's the way I want it so we can fuse it. All right, I know this ain't what everybody was expecting, but we got it JB welded. I didn't actually weld it because I was worried about the case itself warping. It's JB welded. We're gonna do it the right way. We're gonna let it dry, sit, and then we're gonna Dremel it back to the factory shape that it was. As far as this thing is looking really good. I'm super happy with the way it turned out. I gotta get the wheels powder coated. I was debating on getting the frame and swing arm powder coated, but after seeing it now, I don't think I want to do that. Radiators look really good on it. They're in great shape. I'm gonna end up bending all these out. These are factory radiators off the bike. Working with a couple sponsorship people now to get this build moving. We'll see how that goes, but whenever I come back out here, I'll shoot again and keep you guys updated. Like I said, this is going to be somewhat of a long process, so we'll get her done. Luckily, it's winter, so not going to be riding much anyway. Okay, I realized I'm getting way ahead of myself right now. Part come in today, or a box come in today from Wiseco. Really wasn't expecting this. I was going to plan on using their parts, but they said, hey, let's help you out. So big appreciation of Wiseco. I got their piston in there. Sorry, it looks so weird. I got the cylinder all lubed up. Wiseco crank. I gotta buy a new set of reeds. That's no big deal. I know I can service that with it in the frame, so I'm not really worried about that. I cleaned the frame up. Don't worry about stator or clutch covers. I'm going to get those powder coated. I don't know if you've seen yesterday, but I got the hole in the side case patched up. So right now I'm just anti-seizing my bolts, getting ready for installation, and hopefully it should be smooth. And then as soon as I get the motor mount bolts put in, swing arm bolt put in, I'll get all that anti-seized, I'll get it Loctite and torqued down to spec. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pull these side covers off and get them ready for powder tomorrow. Oh, by the way, Bill's Race Heads sending me out a race head. Super excited about that. So we're gonna try that out. I do run race gas in the bike, so this is gonna be perfect. Sweet build. The only thing I'm gonna miss on this one is Electron. Electron, if you're watching this, hook your boy up. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing installed. All right, as you see here, I've already got the engine in place. I'm just anti-seizing all the bolts, putting Loctite and torquing them all down. Once again, I want to give a huge thanks to Wiseco for sending out the crank and the piston. This wouldn't even closely be possible without these guys. All right, guys. I know it's a different siding from the last time you've seen it, but I'm getting ready for powder coat. I got stator cover, clutch cover, triple clamps, water pump. I got the wheels and tires, motor mounts, ton of extras. So we're gonna take it to Andrew over at H2G Customs and get all this stuff powder coated. All right, so we're at Andrew's shop now. We got subframe, wheels, all our other hardware here. About to get this stuff powder coated. Pretty fired up about it. We got our first batch of parts done now. I got my fingerprints all over them. We got our second batch in here, doing a bronze color. Super excited about this one. Man, this bike's gonna look good. All right, well, we're back at the shop now. Here's our powder coated goodies. Got that cover on, got our subframe on. I decided to do a black subframe. I think it's gonna blend in well. I'm just not sure how it's gonna go. But yeah, this thing's gonna turn out good. I'm gonna go ahead and put the cylinder head on now. Like I said, I'm getting one sent out to me, but I figured I'd go ahead and powder coat the factory one and go ahead and get it covered up. We got a lot of rain coming. I don't want any moisture getting in there, so we're gonna get that slapped on. All right, it is extremely late tonight. I got the powder coat yesterday, so I don't know what I filmed last. I'm exhausted, but I got subframe on. I got to clean it up a little bit. I got fingerprints all over it. I got the head on, motor mounts, inner clutch cover, water pump, yeah, everything's looking sweet on that end of the deal. I was going to get my triple clamps powder coated. Sorry, I didn't mean to stutter. Good Lord. But if you know, there's a bearing at the bottom of these. Well, I just replaced that bearing last weekend. And to get it off, you got to cut it off. And I said, I'll wait for it to go bad before I cut a bearing. You know, I'm not just going to waste money like that. A little worried about how the anodized red on the foot pegs and these, and then my streamlines as well, is going to tie in with the bronze and black. But we'll see. Black cover, and then I got this bronze too. Bronze. We got a long way to go on it. See, I got that bronze too. But it's going to tie in really well, I think. I'm hoping. It's finally coming together. I'm starting to see something now. But, man, the amount of hours I have in this thing is ridiculous. But when you do everything right, you know, Loctite absolutely everything, anti-seize everything, and build it the correct way, it takes time. So I'm going to keep on trucking at this thing. I'm recording off my phone. I would set up a time lapse, but the only way for me to stay awake right now is to listen to music. So I'm going to keep on trucking, and I'll give y'all an update soon. All right, here's an update. So I got my spark plug in. I got my radiator hoses on the head. Coil pack's on. I got all my wiring cleaned up. Got some heat shrink down there, and I got it zip tied to the frame nice and tight. I put the heat shrink right there because the radiators get kind of hot, and those connections, I want them to stay protected. So yeah, everything's fitting up nicely. I've been pulling off hoses and cleaning them up, so those look brand new. But yeah, so far so good. Trying to think what I'm gonna do next, to be honest. I know I gotta put these lower hoses on. I'm gonna get those cleaned up and get those put on. You see I got fingerprints all over this frame. It's not that the frame's dirty or anything. I just gotta get it cleaned up real good. Probably should have got it powder coated now that I'm looking at it. But maybe next time when it comes for a rebuild, if I don't sell it, I might not sell it. But these things go for a pretty penny these days. So if I feel like I can make a few $1,000s profit on this unit, by all means, I'm going to do it. But for now, with the way I got it lined up, I think it's going to turn out good. I'd like to build another 250, but for right now, we're going to get this 125 built. Got the ECU in. Got it all tidied up. Got bar mounts in. Triple clamps. So, we'll get this thing rocking and rolling. Okay, 100% calling it a night now. I got my lower radiator hoses on. I got everything plumbed up the way it needs to be. All wires are hooked in. I gotta put a ground right here, but I'm gonna grind that down so I get a good ground. That ground will tap in right here to this coil. But yeah, this thing's coming together good. All I gotta really do is put that ground on, put the pipe on, and it's ready. Or actually, I got a lot more to do than that. Damn. I gotta put the ground on, put the pipe on, put the carb on, fuel tank, and then it'll be ready to start. But as for now, it's a good time to call it a night. I'm exhausted and I'm ready to go to bed. But after looking at it, I think I'm gonna want to do a few more things powder coated. I found a couple things. I probably should have got this Kickstarter done. I usually hate people that paint or powder coat their Kickstarters, but I think that thing would look really good, probably blacked out. I'm starting to think I want to take all the red off and get that powder coated. metallic. It's a bronze metallic powder. And then do the spring in the back. I didn't want to take that off, but hell, I'm already at this point now. But I don't know. I'll sleep on it. I'll come back out in the morning and we'll see what we got going on. All right, well, welcome back. It's probably been 2 weeks since I've filmed. I've been super busy, family stuff, and just going out and riding other bikes and stuff like that. Trying to train for MSXC and sorts racing, trying to build endurance up. This is probably going to be the main build for this bike anyway. So, but like I said, it's probably been 2 weeks since I've filmed, and I haven't gotten far on it. Haven't really touched it. And the reason why is I've been dealing with some companies who were going to sponsor me, graphics wise and little odd and end stuff, and they just, yeah, you know, we'll sponsor you. We'll say for graphics, for instance, we'll sponsor you, and then I tell them I want an aggressive graphics kit and I want their logo on it, and they completely ignore all of that and put my logo on it, which is fine, but it looks like a 3-year-old, honestly, designed these graphics. So you see, I wasn't for it. I told them they could keep them. You know, they were hard to work with. It took 2 weeks for anything to even happen, for them to even send me a rendering. So, wasn't too interested in it. Didn't seem like they were too interested in me, which is totally fine. I'm not going to say the graphic company name. I don't want to bash a company. Just trying to let y'all know what's kind of going on with the build. I finished a ton up on this thing. I have which is to be expected, I got an oil leak coming from the clutch cover, and I got a coolant leak coming from the water pump gasket. I'm going to pull that apart and see what's going on. I just built my wheel and tire last night and got that put together. Got to put a little air to it. Got a little chips on the powder coat, but that's okay. These things come out pretty good. We're gonna slap that on. I'm still waiting on a front tire. Like I said, this build's gonna take a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, just because last night I went on a mission to finish this thing. So I went ahead and ordered my own graphics, ordered all new plastics. What else I ordered? Front tire. I ordered quite a few things to get this thing ready. Skid plate, bolt kit, etc., etc. Tired of waiting. You know, it's Christmas Day now, but I'm ready to get out and start ripping this thing and putting it through its break-in period. So, stay tuned. We'll get some stuff done, but like I said, I just want to update you and let you know how it goes. I don't know how many people are going to watch this. My first build video didn't do too well, which is understandable. This isn't a dirt bike build channel. We ride them. So, but whoever watches this, I appreciate every single one of you. We just hit 1,000 subscribers. This is huge to me. So, stay tuned. I'll update y'all on this thing. I'm gonna slap the rear tire on. Probably go ahead and throw the chain on that I got hanging on the wall, and fix some leaks. Put my forks on, and just kind of clean everything up on the build and get it prepared to get all the rest of my parts in. All right, we're gonna end the day here. I got my wheel, tire, chain on. I was in the process of throwing the front forks on. They're being a pain. I'm doing it in sections. I'm gonna wait until I get my plastics and stuff in. We're going with a black theme, black and red theme. So I know I gotta tighten that chain up. My axle nut ain't even tight. So I got a lot more work to do. I gotta throw an hour meter on it and everything. You see, I gotta beat them things up. I don't have a hammer on me right now. I got my hammer at work. So we're gonna wait till the plastics and some of the parts come in, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish this thing up. But as you see, we do not have far to go at all. super impressed with how this thing's coming out, man. This thing's gonna be one nasty 125. See, I've been doing a little bit of filming today. I know this is a new sighting, but here's a 2020 KX250F. This is gonna be the next build. Working on getting some guys to work with me on that now. Only modification is that slip-on. But that's besides the fact. I know y'all probably don't notice this bike at all. Completely unrecognizable from the last videos. We teamed up with Skidda, got a full set of custom graphics on this thing. Polysport 22 Restyle kit. This thing is phenomenal. And this video is 3 months later after the last time I filmed this thing. Everything is holding up. This is some SC1, don't worry about that. That's SC1. This thing's holding up pretty well, but as you can tell, with the nipple still entire, it doesn't get rode much. Been focusing on some other things, but we'll get back around to riding this thing and shooting some videos. But for now, I'm gonna drop some clips of me ripping this thing, and don't be alarmed. It's with the old plastics. So if you're like, man, that's a red bike. Same motor that I built, everything is just got the old plastics on it because we were doing some woods riding that day. But yeah, hope you like this thing. Super happy with the way it turned out. Until the next build with this one. Peace.